Guess what, everybody? I'm sure you probably heard by now. We now have all of the Power 5 conferences going to play football this season. When you already know when the heat is on, you have to sit back and make a decision on what's the best course of action. I'm sure the Pac-12 thought they were going to be able to conjure up something with the Big Ten where they would be able to go ahead and put a schedule together where the two of them will be able to play against one another in the spring. As I reported before, it was stated that for the Big Ten, Commissioner Warren was trying to talk to the CEO of the Rose Bowl to see if it was possible that they could possibly play a second Rose Bowl in the spring. Guys, let's get into it because you know I got a lot more to come for you on this topic. Welcome back to Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Also, you can follow us on social media. The links are listed down below in the description. The presidents and chancellors sat down and decided to have a revote on whether or not the Pac-12 will go ahead and play this season. And guys, guess what? We got a unanimous vote of yes, we're going to play. We'll start their season on November 7th. 7 conference game season with a Pac-12 champion being crowned on December 18th or December 19th. Everything seems to be going great right now for the Pac-12. Unfortunately, the University of Colorado Buffaloes, they just got caught with an uppercut out of nowhere because they're going to have to postpone their practices for the next 2 weeks. The $1 million question I have is whether or not the playoff committee with the least amount of games out of all of the Power 5 conferences. And I'm wanting to know, will the playoff committee turn a blind eye and possibly vote one of the Pac-12 teams to have an opportunity to play in the playoffs for a possibility of playing for the national championship? Or will they be on the outside looking in? Why I ask that question? Because the simple fact is a lot of you have the SEC as well as the Big 12 that have already started play. You have the Big 10 getting ready to start playing come October 24th. And then you have the Pac-12 that's going to play 2 weeks after that. So I think if the Big 10, I think if Ohio State or whoever wins out in the Big 10, I think they'll be safe and will be able to have an opportunity to play in the playoffs, depending upon their resume of how bad they beat the brakes off of everybody that they play. Because as of right now, the Big 10 and the Pac-12 are playing a conference schedule. The SEC, ACC, and the Big 12, I believe they're playing a schedule plus a crossover game against another opponent. So we're going to see how all of that works out. But guys, the crazy part is this is my question, because I'm starting to see this happen a lot with high schools, and I'm going to speak on that here in the next video. What's happening with high schools is they have a rule in place where they are allowing them to reschedule games if by chance they're able to reschedule games if a particular team ends up with positive tests for COVID. Now, my question is, what's going to happen on the college level if by chance we get down to the playoffs, or better yet, we get to these conference championships, and let's say a team comes up with positive tests? Will they still play the game, or will it be postponed? I do know the ACC and the SEC has provisions in place, and I'm going to discuss that as well for their conferences. But these other conferences like the Pac-12, the Big 10, and the ACC, I'm not for certain they have those same provisions in place for their conferences. So I'm just really wondering, how is this going to work based on based on how they have everything aligned when it comes down to picking the best 4 teams that should play in this playoffs. Guys, I want you to leave me a comment. Let me know if a team doesn't make it all the way through, will the playoff committee consider them being a part of the be a part of the playoffs for them to play for the national championship? Or do you think they should find another team that may not have a good record for them to get in and play? I'm just throwing a question out there, guys, because there's going to be a lot of different questions that's going to come about as the weeks go on, based on some of these teams may or may not be able to play. So it's time to really, wind your minds up and start just thinking outside the box, because somebody's going to be upset. There's going to be someone who is going to work, who this situation may work for. There's going to be someone who is going to work totally against. So I'm just saying, guys, I'm just being that guy. I'm being the one that's just thinking, just doing a little critical thinking. So let's have a discussion about it. But guys, that's all I have for you right now. Until next time, if you like the content, please like, share, subscribe. Also, you can follow us on social media. The links are listed down below in the description. And remember, be that one and lead.